So if you're a diabetic or you're a pre-diabetic or you're worried about your blood sugar levels, maybe you got family members who are diabetic and you're just worried about what are my blood sugar levels doing. The most common marker that is going to be looked at for that is going to be your fasting blood sugar or your A1C. Those are two different markers. Your fasting blood sugar is your blood sugar at that moment, and it's hopefully going to be the number. If you're fasting, you haven't eaten for 8 to 12 hours, right? So what is your blood sugar level after you've been fasting? Your A1C is essentially a percentage of your red blood cells that are being damaged by sugar over time. So that is a very common marker to look at to determine prediabetes or diabetes. However, there's other markers that can be helpful at understanding your body's ability to regulate blood sugar over a period of time, but not as long a period of time as A1C. A1C is a marker that looks at your blood sugar over the last 3 months. So anhydroglucotrol, or a test that's trademarked called the GlucoMark test, measures essentially something called anhydroglucotrol in your blood. That number, that anhydroglucotrol, just so you know what that is just a marker that tells how your blood sugar is being regulated as your blood sugar changes over time. What do we mean by that? It means when you eat, if you get stressed out or you have something going on or you almost get into a car accident, your blood sugar levels are changing. As your blood sugar level spikes, that amount of anhydroglucotrol that shows up in your blood can change, or it will change. And if that number changes too frequently or it gets going too low too often, it means you're getting blood sugar spikes often. Usually over the past it's looking at how often that's happening over the period of 1 to 2 weeks. So it's a very good marker to look at how is somebody regulating their blood sugar over a short period of time, not just the past 24 hours, but the last 1 to 2 weeks. If you're having lots of spikes in your blood sugar, that is bad because it means it's going to impact your body's ability to regulate blood sugar sugar into the tissues. It's going to have an impact on how your body's producing insulin spikes, and this is going to increase or decrease depending on your body's ability to handle insulin well. If we can't handle insulin well, we can't regulate our weight very well. We can't regulate our energy. There's lots of things that go out if we're not regulating our blood sugar. So if you want to keep a close eye on your blood sugar over a period of time, this anhydroglucotrol test, this GlucoMark test, can be a valuable marker to determine how have things been over the last 1 to 2 weeks. This is an important marker, but by itself, it only tells us a certain amount of information. You need to have all of your lab work looked at properly. What I mean by properly is you need to look at those optimum ranges, which most doctors aren't going to have access to. They're going to have the lab ranges only. You need to look at optimum ranges. Most people don't know what they are, so getting a proper report on all of your lab work, understanding how one lab relates to another lab is going to be impactful to your overall health and well-being. You can't just look at this one test that we talked about and say, yeah, my blood sugar is good, because it's only looking at the past 1 to 2 weeks. It's also not looking at your insulin levels. It's not looking at what happened prior to that. It's not looking at the quantity and quality of your red blood cells. It's not looking at your hormone function, your thyroid. You've got to look at all of it if you want to be healthy. This is one valuable marker to address if you think you're not handling blood sugar well, or if you think you have a risk of prediabetes or diabetes, or you feel like maybe there's something that's gone on recently where you've had a lot of stress or a lot of inflammation in your body that impacts your blood sugar. This could be an important marker there, but you've got to look at all of it together. No lab marker exists in a vacuum without considering what the other things are doing that influence that lab.